is ATN Global News. First, the headlines. Ruama vows to bring environmental offenders to justice. Family accuses police of extrajudicial killing. IGP knocks PSC over police recruitment process. Nigeria's inflation rises to 33.95% in May. Zelensky hopes for peace as soon as possible. Ruby says Junior Pope never her boyfriend. Finidi George resigns as Super Eagles head coach. And now the news in detail. Acting Coordinator of Rivers State Waste Management Agency, Ruama, Prince Ohia, has issued a warning to residents of Obiakpo and Port Harcourt City local government areas against dumping refuse after 10 p.m. Mr. Ohia said this in an interview with our ATN correspondent while reacting to the arrest of teenager Success Barinidum, who was caught dumping refuse around the Rumosi axis of Port Harcourt last night by the agency's enforcement team. Mr. Ohia said that the enforcement team was established to ensure compliance with Ruama regulations and to bring offenders to justice. He said Success Barinidum will be charged in court next week. Recall that on Thursday, family members of Success Barinidum alleged he was abducted around 8:30 p.m. around Rumosi area of Port Harcourt. The teenager was later found out at an environmental task force office in Ajib. Analyst Stephen Okechukwu has said that the security outfits in the university should take advantage of social media to educate and communicate to students about the rules and regulations. Speaking on Atlantic Blowout program, Okechukwu also suggested that the security outfits in the universities should be given a proper training and protocols.
What have they done to communicate their boundaries within the student community? You can't, I'm sure if that were to be a barrack, you would know how to walk around it. So people need to be communicated to at every single point in time. And then let's...
This is coming after the heels of Rivers State University students in Port Harcourt protest against the brutalization of a fellow student by the Manowa security outfits.
How informed how informed are the Manowa personnel?
That's a very big question.
So how informed are they? Because you just, forgive me, for lack of a better word, more often than not, you find people within this outfit, within the Manowa, that it's hard to tell what difference they have with the street urchins or whatever it is you want to do. So yes, I agree, they need to be trained, and they also need to communicate properly to the community or to the public what their boundaries are.
Okay. Martin Amewule-led Rivers State House of Assembly says it is not expecting any request from Governor Siminalayi Fubara to screen and confirm members of caretaker committees as the 23 local government council chairman tenure ends on Monday. Mr. Amewule made this known in a process briefing yesterday in Port Harcourt. He said the clarification became necessary because he has received many calls from citizens on the next line of action as the tenure of the council chairman ends. Mr. Amewule, whose speakership position is in contention in court, commended the appeal court judges for contributing their quota in building the nation's democracy. ATM recalled yesterday that a court of appeal in Port Harcourt ordered the parties involved in the ongoing State House of Assembly crisis to maintain status quo. Analyst approves that the FCT minister has earned his reference as a state's political leader due to his impressive and excessive political record. Speaking on Atlantic Open Conversation program, Barrister Nnamdi Ekulo agreed with Senator Abe's stand, stating that although the senator's observations and statement were true, but that some people in the state might not be happy to hear about it due to the current political crisis.
We do not have any doubt as to the position Senator Magnus Abe took, because it is very obvious that here in Rivers State E.M. Wike's reputation, or let me say his profile in politics, is on.
This is coming after the former governorship candidate of the Social Democratic Party, SDP, in the 2023 general election in Rivers State, Senator Magnus Abe, affirmed the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Chief Nyesom Wike, as a political leader of the state.
Abe being Senator Magnus Abe being a grassroots politician, he understands this part very well, and the position he took is clear and nothing but the truth. But you know, considering what is happening in Rivers State, most people will not be happy to hear that Senator Abe posited that Wike is the political leader of the state. But it is the truth. The man has shown leadership in all regards.
Retired school principal kidnapped in his hometown in Ikota Basiakban, Mbat Enin local government area of Akwa Ibom State, Aparawa Ezekiel Paul, has been released after a week in captivity. The state police spokesman ASP Timfon John, who confirmed the development, said the man regained freedom unhurt and has been reunited with his family. Elder brother to the victim and Archbishop of the African Church Nigeria, Augustine Paul Akban, disclosed shortly after he was freed that he was released on Saturday morning by the kidnappers. Meanwhile, the police said the kingpin of the kidnap syndicate, nicknamed Tola, and other gang members notorious for terrorizing the area have been arrested. ATN gathered that the gang has cells in Ikot Abasiakban, Ikot Obio Unsong, Ndong Eyo, and Ndong Utim, and neighboring villages along the Aparawang Itanan highway, where they hide victims till ransoms are paid before releasing them. Meanwhile, it is not ascertained if the negotiated ransom of 20 million naira, which the abductors reduced to 5 million naira, was eventually paid to secure his release. Edo State Command of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps said it would be deploying no fewer than 1,210 personnel to provide security across the state during the Eid al-Kabir celebration slated for Sunday. Commandant of NSCDC in the states, Benga Agun, disclosed this on Friday in Benin City in a statement made available to newsmen by the Public Relations Officer of the command, Efosa Ebobo, on his behalf. Agun said the personnel would provide maximum security at various air-praying grounds, palaces, monuments, and recreational centers across the state during the festivals. The NSCDC State Commandant assured that the security of lives and property of residents in the state remained a priority of the command before, during, and after the Islamic festivals. The NSCDC boss, however, appealed to members of the public to give maximum cooperation to the personnel as well as to support them with useful information on criminal elements. Analyst Pat Obiene said that the political culture in Nigeria is such that politicians find it hard to let go and accept when the people chooses to go forward, to go towards a different political direction. Speaking on ATM politics, Obiene noted that although PDP may have long-standing history in Abia State, but that what matters is how well their time in power was utilized and not how long, citing the people's need to exercise their democratic privileges.
In the average Nigerian politician, they find it difficult to let go and accept that the people for once had demonstrated that sovereignty belongs to them, and from where the Constitution derives its powers, and the government derives its powers from the Constitution. So
this is coming as the chairman of the Abia State chapter of the People's Democratic Party, Orwell Asiforu Okere, congratulated the people of the state on this year's celebration of Democracy Day. He boasted that the PDP built the present democratic foundation that Abia people are now enjoying and described itself as a shadow government in Abia State, vowing to scrutinize the present administration by holding it accountable.
I think it is a matter of the nomenclature of the parties or how long they stayed. It's how well. I think that's part of the problem in the Nigerian socio-political crisis now. The need, some of us have been in the front line calling for deeper consciousness, political consciousness, because it appears they will have a little bit of docile electorates or citizenry who don't understand that if you go by Section 14 of the 99 Constitution as amended, that sovereignty belongs to the people and they need to participate in the process.
Exactly.
So one way is first the electioneering process, the freedom without incumbents for them to choose their preferred choice. Yeah. It's a very critical aspect.
3 persons traveling on boats have been abducted by gunmen in Lagos. The trio was reportedly whisked away while traveling by boat around Falomo Bridge from Apapa in Lagos. While names of the abducted victims have not been ascertained, the Lagos State Police Public Relations Officer Benjamin Hundeyin said that the Marine Unit of the command got a report of 3 persons being kidnapped on water. According to him, the police got a report just like every other person, but have already swung into action to ascertain what happened, where it happened, and how. He added that after gathering enough intelligence, the command will pull out its strength to rescue the victims unhurt and bring the perpetrators to justice. Oyo State government has issued a health alert following suspected cholera cases in the state. The Commissioner for Health, Dr. Oluwaseremi Ajetumobi, emphasized the need for heightened vigilance and precautionary measures to prevent a potential cholera outbreak. During a visit to a private hospital in Ibadan, where 2 suspected cholera cases were under treatment, Dr. Oluwaseremi highlighted cholera as a highly infectious bacterial infection transmitted through contaminated food or water. She listed the symptoms as severe acute watery diarrhea, dehydration, nausea, vomiting, and fever. The commissioner identified the suspected cases in Ibadan as male workers from Lagos State linked to a construction site in Lekki Peninsula. She assured the public that the ministry, in collaboration with partners, is actively managing the situation to prevent casualties. Oluwaseremi outlined responses efforts, including the deployment of local government disease surveillance and notification offense officers, media campaigns in English and Yoruba, activation of isolation facilities, intensified surveillance, and community sensitization. She urged the public to drink water from safe sources, practice proper hand hygiene, and seek immediate medical attention if experiencing symptoms. With the recent cholera outbreak in the 30 states of the Federation, including neighboring Lagos, and considering the Eid-el-Kabir festivities, the Ogun State government has announced certain precautionary measures to residents to prevent any possible outbreak in the state. Special Advisor to Governor Dapo Abiodun on Media and Strategy, Kayode Akimade, made this known in a statement on Saturday. He explained that the governor is seriously concerned about the development and need to protect the people in the state, considering the proximity of Ogun to Lagos and the degree of interaction between the 2 states. According to the statement, precautionary measures, including the following, have been put in place. All houses must have toilets. Each house without a toilet should identify a room to be converted to a toilet. In addition to these measures, residents of the state were also advised to take the following measures as a way of galvanizing themselves against the disease. The statement added that the Ministry of Environment will see to the strict compliance of all the measures, as violators will be made to face the wrath of the law accordingly. 15th Emir of Kano, Aminu Ado Bayero, has announced the cancellation of the Durbar ceremonies he initially planned to avoid breakdown of law and order in the state. He also extended warm greetings to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and Kano State Governor Abba Yusuf on the occasion of the Eid-el-Kabir celebration. This was made known in a broadcast delivered at the Nasarawa Mini Palace on Saturday. Bayero, in his message, emphasized the importance of sacrifice and prayer during Eid, expressing hopes for Tinubu and Yusuf to continue delivering democracy dividends, protect lives and properties, and seek strength and courage from God. Also, the head of Dawaki, Aminu Agundi, announced that the deposed Emir will observe Eid prayer at the Nasarawa Mini Palace on Sunday, 8 a.m. Agundi commended the public for their continuous prayers for peaceful coexistence in Kano and the nation at large. The Kano emirship is a subject of negation following the dethronement of Bayero and the reinstatement of Mohammed Yusuf by Governor Abba Yusuf of Kano State. Family of Joseph Ominyi, a father of 4 in Ijingban Ward, Ado local government area of Benue State, has petitioned the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Ebotogun, over the extrajudicial killing of their son, Peter Ominyi, by the Benue State Police Command. The family at a press conference in Makadi on Saturday urged the IG to order investigation into the killing of their son and bring the perpetrators to book. ATO recalls that the Benue State Commissioner of Police identified lack of core value and over-ambition of young military officers who do not want to wait for their turn as the major causes of coup d'etat in Africa. The UNDP team led governance, peace and security. Matthew Alao said this in an interview with newsmen after the graduation ceremony of the Leadership and National Cohesion course at Martin Luther Agua International Leadership and Peacekeeping Center, Jaji, Kaduna State. Alao said that though the military cannot be divorced from the society where it situates, but over-ambition by young military officers, eroding core societal values, religious beliefs, and lack of education are the key reasons for more coups in West African countries and Africa at large. Alao, who noted that the fundamental problem the world is facing today is a lack of core values, said this resulted to persistent coups and counter-coups staged in Africa by military officers. He added that if the military of those days had the necessary experience and requisite vision when Nigeria was still in the morning, they would have planned our future and laid the foundation, and we wouldn't be where we are today. 5,937 soldiers that recently passed out from the depot will be deployed to fight banditry, cattle rustling, and related crimes. Lieutenant General Torit Labaja, Chief of Army Staff, has said. Labaja disclosed this during the passing out parade of the 86th regular recruit intake of the depot Nigeria Army in Zaria on Saturday. Labaja's special guest of honor and reviewing officer for the passing out parade added that the new men would form part of the solution to numerous security challenges bedeviling the country. The COAS noted that training was a continuous process in the military, adding the Nigerian Army has put in place post-depot training packages to help the soldiers master the array of weapons and equipment. This, according to him, will enable the soldiers to become more efficient in the act of war. While congratulating the 5,937 recruits, the Corps said that the life of a soldier was a life of sacrifice to the country, allegiance to defend, and if need be, sacrifice his life for the people. He added that the soldiers that had joined the unique league of exceptional Nigerians who had elected to abide by the requirements of exceptional discipline, loyalty, integrity, and dedication to duty. Labaja therefore charged them not to disappoint the Nigerian army and the country's expectations of them. Analysts have condemned the pilgrimage of the Niger state governor and his executive, describing it irresponsible and lawless. Speaking on Atlantic Open Conversation, they maintain that an accountable leadership must first assent to the security of lives and properties of the people as its primary responsibility. This is coming after the decision of Niger State Governor Mohammed Omar Bago to travel to Saudi Arabia for the Hajj pilgrimage, alongside the Deputy Governor Comrade Yakubu Garba and Speaker of the House of Assembly Abdul Malik Sakin Daji. Not fewer than 6 persons were confirmed dead and 7 others seriously injured in an auto crash at Sabon Garin, Tekunubu in Miga local government area of Jigawa State. Said Police Public Relations Officer DSP Lawan Adam, who confirmed the incident in a statement, said the accident involved a Mitsubishi car, a Mitsubishi Canter. Adam explained that the incident happened when the driver, on reaching Sabongari Market, lost control and ran into traders, as a result of which 10 persons sustained various degrees of injuries, while 3 died on the spot. The police spokesperson also stated that the corpse have been released to the relatives of the victims for proper burial. You're watching the Global News and Atlantic Television Network. We will be back after this break.
We just dey vote for government, but we not get good governance.
At all.
Roads so e no dey, light o usa, the infrastructure nko e come turn to be forbidden fruit for the city.
Corruption spoil everything. Hello?
Hello, madam. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
My name is Mrs. Ayeni. I am calling from the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs.
Okay. Okay, I've been expecting your call.
Madam, remove this your phone from loudspeaker.
No vex. Now my phone be like that. Hello?
Are you there?
I hear, I'm hearing you.
Yes. We saw a copy of your invoice for computers, printers, and laptops.
Yes. Are you working on them now?
Ma, the prices you quoted are way too high now.
Madam, sorry, oh. Please don't cost.
We found the laptop you said is 1.8 million naira for 600,000 naira.
Hello?
Now my body network there.
I can't hear you. Network is bad.
Madam, we can hear you. Continue.
Hello, I can't hear you. We call you back.
Their behavior not good now.
Madam, now this kind behavior they kill our country. You suppose do things differently, make Nigeria for better.
Corruption not in my country. This message is brought to you by the Akinfade Foundation, the MacArthur Foundation,
and with broadcast support from Atlantic Television Network.
Corruption not in my country.
I don't get a lot. Boy, they won't booga me small. They say, man, give them bribe. I say, nothing. Okay, now, we'll go block later. You remember that contract we will do that time now? They don't pay.
But first, you see the house rent with the old things. We go first call caretaker, take the money, slap him.
Beg, see, you know, say I get annual levy why they pay for club. Where me and boys they shark beer in our house, I could pay that one. You remember say me and tell you I go buy you money. I go buy now.
Okay, they pay you money now. We don't they beg caretaker? Why would they beg landlord, old man, and they agree give us time? Money can't come now. You won't divert time. You said na corruption. Corruption, not in my house and not in my country.
Sure.
Corruption not in my country. This message is brought to you by the Akinfade Foundation, the MacArthur Foundation,
and with broadcast support from Atlantic Television Network.
Corruption not in my country.
What do you want to buy?
Potato. Small baskets. I want plantain. But why your plantain can't hard like this?
Madam, now the outside hard. Inside there, it is
Yeah. Wallahi, make her no buy. Make her show you something. What? What in this one? Madam, this one now the chemical what they put on for the plantain make her ripe up.
So you dey put chemical for plantain where people go chop?
No water, no be chemical.
Madam, water. You know, say Pela and can say water and not be enemy during come.
Where I collect our drink am.
I don't finish. See my belly. I found it don't big. I just stop drink water finish.
Make her drink. Wait, you drink come now. At the sell and plantain, I go come put on for chemical because I want to make a ripe go. That's why I talk on now corruption. Corruption. Not be for this kaswa, come not be for this country. Now me take
Corruption not in my country. This message is brought to you by the Akinfade Foundation, the MacArthur Foundation,
and with broadcast support from Atlantic Television Network.
Corruption not in my country.
Kasali, I hope so my car don't ready. I get interview in 30 minutes.
Okay, you not ready. I just the last minute instruction where you give me yesterday. Now in the cause more delay.
Which instruction?
Maybe now you say make I change the meter, make you not read again.
Which time I make you change meter? Oh, Kasali, why you do like this now? You don't get sense. You don't read the text message. Nobody I want to send them to. Like Kasali, my electrician, make it come house, call me, do my meter so that you don't go to read again. You the electrician?
Your electrician?
Yes, now.
So you call Kasali electrician, make it come help you adjust your meter, make it for no read again, Abi. So you said you want join people where be say they no want they pay NEPA bill again, Abi. Oga, you know good now. You don't use you know they behave like all these stiff people.
Oh, what you change from your motor? What you change from?
Two lights. Fuel gauge. Speedometer.
For what thing are you for? Come out for home my motor. I bet you identify for me.
Okay. Now don't do something we corrupt. Do something come backfire. Now go come they find how to dodge them.
What you talk?
They greet you.
Corruption not in my country. This message is brought to you by the Akinfade Foundation, the MacArthur Foundation,
and with broadcast support from Atlantic Television Network.
From line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring on sport news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today. Only on ATN.
Welcome back. This is a Global News and Atlantic Television Network. Now to the rest of our stories. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has urged Muslims faithful to reflect on the occasion of Eid al-Kabir, an event that denotes sacrifice, faith, and obedience to the will of the Almighty. His message was contained in a statement signed by his special advisor on media and publicity at Juri in Galile on Saturday. He called on citizens to spare a prayer for the nation for continuous peace and sustainability while working according to purpose in promoting unity, peace, and progress. The statement further stated that President Tinubu called on citizens to spare a prayer for the nation for continuous peace and stability while working according to purpose in promoting unity, peace, and progress. It added that the President reassured Nigerians that his administration is prioritizing their physical, social, and economic security and will not relent on this noble endeavor. President Bola Tinubu has directed the Director General, Chief Executive Officer of the Bureau of Public Procurement, BPP, Mr. Maman Amadou, to resign. According to a statement by Special Advisor to the President on Media and Publicity, Ajuri Ngalele, the move is a part of a broader effort to reorganize the public procurement system and enhance its efficiency and transparency. The statement further said Amadou is expected to hand over to the most senior officer in the Bureau, pending the appointment of a new Director General. President Bola Tinubu has called for stronger collaboration between Nigeria's law enforcement agency and the United States Federal Bureau of Intelligence in the fight against cybercrime, terrorism, and other related crimes. ATF learns that the FBI is the domestic intelligence and security service of the United States of America and its principal federal law enforcement agency. According to a statement by presidential spokesman Ajuru Ngalele, the president spoke during a meeting with FBI Director Christopher Asha Ray at the State House in Abuja. ATN gathered that security chiefs who attended the meeting include the National Security Advisor Malam Nuhu Ribadu, Inspector General of Police Kayode Ebetugun, Director General of the Department of State Services Yusuf Magaji Bichi, the Chairman of the National Drug Enforcement Agency, and others. President Tinubu described the presence of the FBI Director alongside his team in Nigeria as recognition of the enduring partnership between Nigeria and the United States in the fight against financial crimes and terrorism. President Tinubu told the FBI Director that his administration was prioritizing education as a tool against poverty, which is generally believed to be a driver of criminal activities. In his remarks, Director Ray said he was in the country to enhance the outstanding partnership that exists between the government of Nigeria and the government of the United States. He lauded President Tinubu for supporting the growing partnership between various agencies of government and the FBI in order to protect the citizens of both countries. Inspector General of Police, Mr. Kayode Ebetukun has ordered the deployment of human and operational assets to ensure responsive policing ahead of the 2024 Eid al-Kabir celebration. The first police relations officer, ACP Olumuyiwa Adejobi, said this in a statement on Saturday in Abuja. He said the IG had directed commissioners of police nationwide and the Supervisory Assistant Inspector General of Police to strategically configure the security architecture in the areas of responsibility. Adejobi said the directive was to ensure confidence building and crime prevention patrols of major highways, residential and industrial areas, vulnerable points, places of worship, among others. He said the operation would be conducted professionally without harassment or extortion, but respect for fundamental rights of citizens. According to him, personnel deployed are to perform their duties with discipline, professionalism, decorum, and alertness. He said the IG had extended its facilitation to all Muslim women as they celebrate Eid al-Kabir and prayed for peace and joy. Department of State Services, DSS, has advised Muslims and other Nigerians to be cautious while engaging in religious and social activities during the Salah celebrations. The DSS also urged them to observe all necessary personnel security procedures. The advice was contained in a statement signed by the Director, Public Relations and Strategic Communication Department, Peter Afunaya, and made available to ATN on Saturday. The service also advised operators and patrons of malls, parks and railway stations, among others, to ensure strict compliance with physical and other security measures required for public safety. It ordered that the management and staff of the service facilitate with Muslims across the country. ATN earlier reported that the federal government declared Monday and Tuesday as public holidays to mark this year's Eid al-Adha celebration. The Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Interior, Dr. Ashetu Gogo Ndayoko, disclosed this in a statement on Friday. He said the Minister of Interior, Dr. Olubumi Tunji Ojo, made the declaration on behalf of the federal government and congratulated all Muslim Ummah, both at home and in the diaspora, on this occasion. Inspector General of Police, IGP, has raised the alarm on alleged irregularities and corruption over the recently released names of successful candidates in the ongoing 2022-2023 Police Constables recruitment exercise. He said he had been inundated with complaints and collaboration allegation of corruption by unsuspected candidates and stakeholders on the irregularities that marred the exercise. The police chief also alleged that names of screened candidates who were successful to the last stage were removed. Upon careful scrutiny of the list released on the PSC portal, he said it was discovered that several names of persons purported to be names of successful candidates are those who did not even apply and therefore did not take part in the recruitment exercise. A statement signed by the first public relations officer, Olumuyiwa Adejobi, said the list released on Police Service Commission portal is full of several names of successful candidates who did not even apply and therefore did not take part in the recruitment exercise. This includes those who made it to the last stage of the exercise but were disqualified, having been found medically unfit through the standardized medical test, but who also made the list of successful candidates as published by the Police Service Commission. The statement adds that most worrisome is the allegation of financial dealings and corrupt practices leading to the outcome where unqualified and untrainable individuals have been shortlisted. Chairman of Senate Committee on Media and Public Affairs, Senator Yemi Adaramodu, has said the 10th Senate was not contemplating putting a clause for seizure of state and local government councils' funds in the proposed new minimum wage bill. In a statement he issued on Saturday in Abuja, Adaramodu stressed that the minimum wage bill being proposed by the executive has nothing close to seizure of funds in the event of breaches by state government. He was reacting to reports that the lawmakers have taken a position to propose to the presidency in the new legislation seizure of statutory allocation of states and LGs which default in payment of the new wage. Adaramodu described the report as unfounded, submitting that it would be wrong to assume that the Senate would take a position in the bill that hasn't been submitted to it for deliberation. According to him, lawmakers are still waiting for the minimum wage bill from the executive for legislative actions, adding that the report attributed to him was a misrepresentation of his interactive session with journalists. Director General of Nigerian Center for Disease Control and Prevention, Dr. Jide Idris, has blamed the outbreak of cholera in the country on poor sanitization, personal environmental hygiene, and lack of access to clean water. Idrisu said this while speaking on a television program on Saturday, noted that the agency is conducting a risk assessment and alerted all the states on the outbreak. ATN learned that cholera is a food and waterborne disease caused by the ingestion of organism Vibrio cholerae in contaminated water and food. In Nigeria, cholera is an endemic and seasonal disease occurring annually, mostly during the rainy season and more often in areas with poor sanitation. NCDC has warned the public for the increasing trend of cholera cases across the country as the rainy season intensifies. The center said from January 1st to June 11, 2024, a total of 1,141 suspected and 65 confirmed cases of cholera with 30 deaths have been reported from 96 local governments in 30 states. He noted that 10 states that contributed 90% to the burden of cholera include Bayelsa, Zamfara, Abia, Cross River, Bauchi, Delta, Katsina, Imo, Nasarawa, and Lagos states. ATN gathered that these were 473,000 cholera cases reported to World Health Organization in 2022, double the number from 2021. A further increase of cases by 700,000 was estimated for 2023. As of April, the World Health Organization said a cumulative total of 145,900 cholera cases and 1,766 deaths were reported from 24 countries across 5 World Health Organization regions, with the African region recording the highest numbers, followed by Eastern Mediterranean region, the region of the Americas, the Southeast Asian region, and the European region. Managing Director of Nigerian Airspace Management Agency, NAMA, Ahmed Umar Farouk, has said the country's entire airspace is covered by radar, dismissing claims that the country lacks adequate radar coverage as false and misleading. Farouk, in a statement Saturday morning, disclosed that the radar stations in Nigeria, Kano, Lagos, Abuja, and Port Harcourt are serviceable, stressing that radar services for terminal and en route flights are positively identified and provide air navigation services to airspace users. He stated that the total radar coverage of Nigeria, otherwise known as TRACON, like any other electronic system, is undergoing an upgrade of software and modernization to meet the ever-growing demand for efficient, effective, and seamless air traffic management services, but says that the Nigerian airspace is not covered by radar, he noted, is misleading. ATN learned that the TRACON project is a major facility which has eased air navigation and the surveillance of the Nigerian airspace and also enabled real-time service and rescue operations within the country's airspace. He further stated that the welfare of Nigerian air traffic controllers in terms of salaries and allowances is not in contention, as to suggest that it is the lowest in the world, hinting that NAMA was a reputable agency priding herself in ensuring sustainable welfare packages for her staff, especially the air traffic controllers. A blogger had appeared on television stations claiming that an unidentified aircraft was spotted flying around the presidential villa in Abuja undetected. The Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority had affirmed that there was no security threat to Aso Rock, Nigeria's seat of power. Now, business news. Nigeria's headline inflation rose from 17th time to 33.95% in May 2024 from 33.69% in April. The National Bureau of Statistics, NBS, disclosed this in its latest Consumer Price Index and Inflation Report released on Saturday. Looking at the movement, the May 2024 headline inflation rate showed an increase of 0.26% points when compared to the April 2024 headline inflation rate. On a year-on-year basis, the headline inflation rate was 11.54 percentage points higher compared to the rate recorded in May 2023, which was 22.41%. This shows that the headline inflation rate year-on-year basis increased in the month of May 2024 when compared to the same month in the preceding year. That's May 2023. On a month-on-month basis, the headline inflation rate in May 2024 was 2.14%, which was 0.15% lower than the rate recorded in April 2024, 2.29%. This means that in the month of May 2024, the rate of increase in the average price level is less than the rate of increase in the average price level in April 2024. This comes as Nigeria's inflation rose further to 40.66% in May 2024 from 40.53% in April. The figures show recall that Nigeria's inflation continued to jump since the commencement of President Bola Tinubu's administration in May last year, when it stood at 22.41%. ATM recalled that in April 2024, Nigeria's inflation rose for the 16th time. The last time Nigeria's inflation eased was in December 2022, when it stood at 21.34%. Up next, international tidbits. Sweden and Iran carried out a prisoner exchange on Saturday. Officials said, with Sweden freeing an informal Iranian official convicted for his role in a mass execution in the 1980s, while Iran released 2 Swedes being held there. The prisoner swap was mediated by Oman, the country's foreign ministry said in a statement. Sweden had freed convicted former Iranian official Hamid Nouri, Iran's top human rights official said on X. Nouri, who had been convicted for his part in a mass execution of political prisoners in Iran in 1988, would be back in Iran in a few hours, the official added. Separately, Sweden Prime Minister Ulf Kristersson said in a statement that Swedish citizens Johan Floderus and Said Aziz, who had been detained in Iran, were on a plane back to Sweden. Kristersson confirmed in a video released by the government that Nouri was now being transported back to Iran. Kristersson declined to give further details around the consideration, citing security concerns. Nouri, 63, was arrested at the Stockholm airport in 2019 and later sentenced to life imprisonment for war crimes for his mass execution and torture of political prisoners at the Guadash prison in Karaj, Iran, 1998. He denied the charges. President Volodymyr Zelensky said he hoped to find paths to a just peace as soon as possible as a first international summit on pathways to end Russia's war in Ukraine opened Saturday. More than 50 world leaders were joining Zelensky at the Bogestok Resort in Switzerland for a 2-day peace summit. Though the Moscow rejecting the event, it only has the modest ambition of laying the groundwork for ending the conflict now in its 3rd year. The summit is aimed at trying to agree a basic international platform for eventual peace talks between Kiev and Moscow. Zelensky said Saturday the only person who wanted the war was Putin. But in any case, the word is stronger. NATO and the United States also immediately rejected Putin's headline condition. More than 1.5 million Muslims braved extreme heat to reach Mount Arafat on Saturday for the high point of the annual Hajj pilgrimage, praying for hours, especially for Palestinians in war-ravaged Gaza. Clad in white, worshippers began arriving at dawn for the most grueling day of the annual rite, ascending the rocky 70-meter, 230 feet hill where the Prophet Muhammad is believed to have given his last sermon. Saudi Arabia's minister in charge of religious pilgrimage, Tuafik al-Rabea, warned last week that no political activity would be tolerated during the Hajj. But that did not stop at least one pilgrim from chanting in support of the Palestinians who have endured more than 8 months of incessant bombardment. More than 1.5 million Muslims will pray on Mount Arafat in soaring temperatures on June 15th, in the high point and most grueling day of the annual Hajj pilgrimage, one of the 5 pillars of Islam that must be performed at least once by all Muslims who have the means to do so. Louisiana man arrested in the killing of a woman and her young daughter is believed to have had an accomplice, the Jackson Police Department said Saturday. The suspect, 36-year-old Daniel Callahan, was arrested Thursday after a 35-year-old mother was found dead and her 2 abducted daughters were later discovered in Mississippi, one dead and the other alive, in what investigators said may be a human trafficking case. Callahan is accused of committing brutal and heinous acts of violence, including the killing of Kadri Burnett and her 4-year-old daughter, said the sheriff's police in Tagafoa, Paris, just north of New Orleans. Callahan's alleged accomplice, Victoria Cox, 32, was arrested on Friday at a motel in South Jackson, Jackson Police Chief Joseph Wade said. Callahan said Friday that he was yet to talk to a lawyer. The Racking Country District attorney's office told ATN they were unaware if Callahan had retained an attorney. Cox is being questioned, and police said they are trying to determine her exact role in the incident. Russian President Vladimir Putin has on Friday blasted an agreement by G7 leaders to use frozen Russian assets to help Ukraine as theft and promised retaliation. He said Western powers were still trying to create at least some legal basis for the decision taken on Thursday. The G7 summit began on Thursday in southern Italy with a deal to lend Ukraine $50 million using the interest generated from frozen Russian state assets. The money is to be made available to Ukraine by the end of the year. The U.S. government says around $280 million of Russian central bank money has been immobilized in Western countries due to sanctions imposed since the full-scale Russian attack on Ukraine more than 2 years ago. And now, entertainment news. Nollywood actress Ruby Ojako has finally addressed rumors that late actor Junior Pope was in an extramarital relationship with her. Rumors emerged that Ruby was Junior Pope's girlfriend after she relentlessly used her platform to demand justice for the actor who died in a boat accident while on set. The late actor's wife, Jennifer, further fueled the rumors after unfollowing Ruby on Instagram shortly after her husband's burial. Addressing the rumors in a video message shared via her Instagram page, Ruby insisted that Junior Pope was never her boyfriend. She also debunked claims that the late actor isn't the father of her child, royalty. Music sensation Rema has sparked curiosity among fans by deleting all his posts on Instagram. The 24-year-old singer, who boasts 6.7 million followers on the platform, removed his profile picture and all content related to his label, Marvin Records. Rema's rise to fame began with a viral freestyle on Instagram, where he impressed fans with his skills on the Prince Gushu Gang. The talented artist was subsequently signed to Marvin Records in March 2019, launching a successful music career. While Rema's motivations for deleting his Instagram post remain unknown, fans are eagerly waiting for his next move. Grammy-winning Nigerian singer Damini Ogulu, popularly known as Burna Boy, has set a new record for the highest gross touring by African artists. He achieved the feat after his I Told Them tour grossed $15.5 million from 15 shows, with revenue from 6 more concerts yet to be reported. American tour statistics company Touring Data disclosed this in a series of posts on X on Thursday. Burna Boy also earned the highest grossing arena concert by an African artist in the United States with $1.725 million at Capital One Arena in Washington on March 7, 2024, surpassing his own record at TD Gardens in Boston. His concert at the Hard Rock Live in Hollywood on March 12th with $172.76 average ticket price became the most expensive concert by an African artist in history. His Canadian tour grossed $5.7 million from 6 shows, the highest for an African artist. Here now is ATN Sports News. Finidi George has resigned from his position as head coach of the Super Eagles. It is believed Finidi took the decision on Saturday, days after the Nigerian Football Federation, NFF, announced moves to bring a foreign technical advisor. His exit was confirmed by former Eagles media officer Toyin Ibitoye on his social media account. Finidi was only appointed on April 29, 2024 to replace Josie Periso, whose contract expired in February. During his very brief tenure, the former Eyimba boss oversaw a 1-1 draw with South Africa and a 2-1 defeat to Benin Republic, both in the 2026 World Cup qualifying series. Meanwhile, Napoli striker Victor Osimhen has lashed out at Coach Finidi George, stating that he has lost respect for him over some comments on his attitude towards the national team. Finidi, who is said to have also resigned as the head coach of the Super Eagles today, was quoted to have said he can't beg Osimhen to play for the national team after the player withdrew from the last 2 2026 World Cup qualifiers due to injury. The striker was said to have been ruled out by a 4-week injury and was replaced by Enugu Ranger defender Kenneth Ibukwe. But following the Super Eagles' wobbling performance performances against South Africa and Benin Republic, the narrative of Osimhen's absence changed as an online medium reported that Finidi used Osimhen's absence as a poser for the player's bad attitude towards the national team when he and the Nigerian Football Federation chiefs met with the sports minister John Eno in Abuja on Wednesday. Osimhen was apparently infuriated by the comments and in a live Instagram video today opened up on the circumstances that led to his withdrawal from the Super Eagles' last 2 World Cup qualifiers, adding that Finidi was adequately briefed by him and his doctor. Leading basketball commentator and Hall of Fame Charles Barkley said on Friday next season would be his last on television, regardless of future NBA media deals. Barkley, 61, has been a popular NBA studio analyst for TNT Sports since he retired from playing in 2000, drawing followers with its expert commentary and quick wit. The Washington Post and other U.S. media reported that the NBA has held talks with TNT Sports owner Warner Bros., Discovery, Disney, Amazon, and NBC about its next media rights deal after the 2024-2025 seasons. Warner Bros. Discovery has held the NBA rights since 1988, but its current deal expires after next season, and speculation has grown over whether it will retain them. NBA Commissioner Adam Silver said this month talks were continuing. Barkley made the announcement on a post-game show after Game 4 of the NBA Finals, when the Dallas Mavericks won 122-84 at home to keep the best of 7 championship series against the Boston Celtics alive at 3-1. Football communities, England, Premier League clubs, and football legends are mourning the loss of former Arsenal and Everton striker Kelvin Campbell. Tributes have poured in from all corners of the sport, honoring the life and career of the revered striker who left an indelible mark on English football. A Saturday statement from the Arsenal website revealed that Campbell died at age 54. He was recently admitted to hospital with sepsis. On the other hand, Everton described him as a Goodison Park hero who saved the club from relegation in 1999. ATN gathered that Kelvin was born in Lambeth in February 1970. Kelvin Campbell began his football career with Arsenal, joining the first team at Highbury in 1998 following an impressive junior scoring record. During his time with the Gunners, he netted 59 goals in 224 appearances and helped the team secure 1990-91 league title, the FA Cup, the League Cup, and European Cup winners. And that's the global news for tonight. Before we go, another look at the major stories. Rwanda vows to bring environmental offenders to justice. Family accuses police of extrajudicial killings of son. IGP knocks PSC over police recruitment process. Nigeria's inflation rises to 33.95% in May. Zelensky hopes for peace as soon as possible. Ruby says Junior Pope never her boyfriend. Finidi George resigns as Super Eagles head coach. I am Wendy Aguma. Thank you for watching and good evening.